be some bread on that table when I get home. So I rushed to the house, opened the door, looked in the kitchen, and no bread. That's when God spoke and said, make some bread. Because I was so disappointed. I said, Lord, you said, he said, make some bread. I'll never forget that. Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying to you is, Jesus is the way. Mm-hmm. Yes. He's not going to do everything like you think he's going to do it. But mind you, he'll get it done. And he is the truth, and he's the light. Now this scripture that we read, the first scripture we read, he that believeth on me, as the scripture says, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. And the Lord said to me one time, I'm trying to get the exact words. I need my journal book to just really tell you exactly how he said it. But I had a bellyache, or stomach ache, and I was thinking of all what was wrong, thinking of all that. And this scripture came to me. He said, if you believe on me, as the scripture says, out of your belly will flow rivers of living water. He says, and he said to me, out of your belly won't spawn tumors and this and that. He was naming stuff, all that stuff I was thinking about, you know. He said, I said, out of your belly will flow rivers. I said, oh, so rivers of water are supposed to be coming out. But that's how the word translated to me. Mm-hmm. And I did get rid of the bellyache. So the thing is, we've got to learn how to believe on Christ. And he said, will flow river. Now, when you talk about rivers of living water, that means if he's done something once, he'll do it again. That's right. He'll do it again. If he's done something once, because I guarantee you, some of the things that God does in your behalf, the devil will bring it back to you. Mm-hmm. And he'll give you an opportunity to doubt God. But if you have enough word, I'm telling you, children, if you have enough word in you, you can throw off those doubts and you don't have to be heavy. Amen. We're talking about eat more, weigh less. You don't have to be burdened if you just keep on eating. But you got to eat the right thing. You know, they tell us health-wise, they tell us that it takes about 3 times the amount of hours to digest meat as it does to digest vegetables, or more. Somebody might know the exact amount. But I know it's over 3 times the amount of time, because for some meats, like thick steak, he said you won't even digest it by the time you go to bed at night, even if you eat it at 4 o'clock in the day. It will not be digested until overnight. Anybody read that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it wouldn't be digested overnight. But if you eat, like I said, the carrots, the spinach, and the broccoli, and that, it'll be digested quickly. So, and that's why it won't lay on you. You know, have you ever eaten and just felt heavy after you ate? It was good, but you felt heavy after you ate. And then you say to yourself, oh boy, I shouldn't have eaten so much. Lord, forgive me because I have sinned. I just shouldn't have. But you did it because it tasted good. And sometimes you pick up problems because you think you can solve them. And all they do is make weight on you. Just like that meat, all that heavy meat, and potatoes, and what else lays heavy on you? Sweet potato pie, and peach cobbler, all that. It weighs heavy on you. and you eat it all, and you know what? You'll feel sluggish. And you won't have the energy to get up and exercise or walk or work or run the back. I mean, you don't have energy to do nothing. You just want to sit there.
That is so true.
You just want to sit there.
Oh, that's true.
And so that's the way it is spiritually.
Yeah.
You don't have the energy to get up and do what God has called you to do because you're too heavy.
Yeah.
And another thing, let me tell you, this is one of the reasons that we come to church sometimes and we're heavy. And I've heard ministers say sometimes, well, you're all sitting on me today. Well, it's because they haven't been in the Word.
That's right.
Yeah. And you're just sitting there looking, waiting for the preacher to raise you from the dead. You can't raise you, baby. You can't raise you. Because that Word, He can't raise you because you're too heavy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. My youngest son that's deceased, Joe, thought that when we talk about raising kids, he said, we were saying, well, if, say for instance, I say, well, you know, I raised you. He thought we were talking about when he came out of the womb, we held him up so the world could see him. So that's not what we're talking about, baby. When I say I raised you, I'm talking about I helped you to grow up. Oh, Lord. So we, you know, after we grow up, we get too heavy. I'm talking back spiritually now. You understand what I'm saying? Can't nobody lift you up. You got to get in this Word. Or you got to hear the Word. The Word will lift you up. But, you know, sometimes that's why in our churches today, and you excuse me, no, don't excuse me. No. But in our churches today, sometimes we have to have so many gizmos to raise people because they're too heavy. You know what I'm saying? To have, now there's nothing wrong with plays and all that. I enjoy them and I appreciate them and I think they have their place. But for Sunday morning, I don't have to have lights beaming from there, over there to here. Lights beaming from there, red one over here, the blue one there, and the yellow one over here, beaming down on me. For what? And I don't have to have smoke, you know how they make the smoke rise and come out, you know. I don't have to have all that. But you know why you have to have all that? Because you're trying to get people's attention. And they can't hear you because they're too heavy. But if you come to hear the Word, and if the Word is what you are living on, you'll be light. And ready to receive whatever it is that God has to give. But if you are without the Word in you, you see, there's something about the Word that attracts the Word. Let me say this. Do you know when you eat sweets, then you'll crave sweets? She said, yeah. Yeah, you'll eat sweet. I remember a time, I can remember a time in my life when I was young, I used to get upset with people if they put jelly in front of me. Because I didn't even want to look at it. I didn't want no jelly on my toast. I didn't eat jelly. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't want it. It was like repulsive. Get that out of my face. You know, that's just the way I felt about it. You know, so I didn't have a sweet tooth. But then I started eating jelly. I don't know what got me to eating it. I don't eat it now, you know, very much, rarely. But when I started eating it, it changed to make me want something. You understand what I'm saying? So the reason